soaking in salt water still. We've got our bigger ones sliced in half. I leave the little small ones in one piece because I think they just come out better that way. They're kind of juicy and squishy on the inside and then crispy on the outside. But the bigger ones, you want to go ahead and cut them in half. You can use a sifter or whatever this little thing is. We'll start by first off, soak them in salt water. Some people will do it overnight. I usually just do it for a few hours. It's good enough. Gets the bugs and mites off of them, kills them, gets them away from your mushrooms. And then you just rinse them real good like this. Toss them around and rinse them. Look at that. See those beautiful clean morels? Look at that. Juicy. Okay. You can use Cavender's, seasoned salt, whatever you want, but you want to mix it in with the flour. At least the way I like to do it is mix it in with the flour so the breading will have a nice flavor to it. And then you just start mixing it up. You can put it in a bag to make it easier if you want. You can put it in a bag, put the flour in a bag, the seasonings, and put your mushrooms in and just shake it all together. Finished product. You want to make sure that you get lots of flour on there. Now keep in mind there are different ways to do this. This is just the way I was taught and the way I do it. Just make the breading using flour and seasoning, and sometimes I'll even egg wash the mushrooms first and then bread them just to get it to stick better, and sometimes it comes out a little more crunchy. You got more of a batter instead of a flour breading, you know what I mean, which is nice. If you're doing it right, your mushrooms are going to cook pretty fast, so you want to keep a plate with a napkin or a paper towel on it close by, just right next to it, so you can start throwing them over there when it's done, and the paper towel will soak up some of that grease, which if you know how to fry anything, you already knew that. Now you want, before you put your mushrooms in, you want to make sure that your grease is hot enough, because you don't want it to sit in that grease for too long, otherwise they'll get saturated with grease and they'll be nasty. Well, this needs to go just a little bit longer. So our grease is now hot enough. I can hear it pop a little bit. You get extra points if you're shirtless by doing this. Just kidding, don't take that advice. Now that our mushrooms are thoroughly bread, see what I did there? Alright. To a point where it will cook them within just a few short minutes. That way your grease doesn't saturate the mushrooms. Some people say that the mushrooms will start to float when they're done. I just make sure that they're crispy on the outside and squishy on the inside. You know what I mean? And in order to make that texture happen, you have to cook it fast enough. Make sure you got it hot enough. It's hard to use an iron skillet, but it does make them taste better, in my opinion. And for some reason, it does make you superior if you use an iron skillet. Don't know why, but it just does. It just makes you cooler. Okay, these need to go back in for a minute. Got to take them out and check them. They need to crisp up a little bit more. That point where they're crispy on the outside, they got that golden brown crust on them, so they are done. Make sure you cook morels thoroughly because they are technically poisonous if they're raw. Never eat morels raw. I mean, unless you want to get sick, unless you're some kind of masochist or something, then I guess, but don't take that advice from me. I didn't say it. All I'm saying is cook your mushrooms thoroughly. Make sure you have one of these little jiggers, whatever this thing is. It's really handy. Thingy-majig, very handy. Frying thingy-majig. If you ain't got an iron skillet, man, are you even an adult? Like, go get you an iron skillet, bro. I'm just kidding. But it does make your food taste better, especially after it's been flavored, seasoned for a while. Alright, there you have it. Some people like to season them after they've been cooked. I like to season the breading because I feel like it tastes better that way. I season the breading heavily and then roll the mushrooms in the seasoned breading, thoroughly bread mushrooms. And of course, take your skillet off the heat, and you're done.